Well, so what we were trying to talk about is the fact that, hey, so now that you have set up your Android phone, you've gone to the Play Store and install your app. So you go in there, looking for an ebook reader or some music player, whatever the case may be. And when you install that app from the Play Store, by default, an icon to that app, gets placed on what we call the home screen. And I like to always liken the home screen to what we call the desktop on our computers. If you're a Windows user, and I don't know if what it is called if you're using a Mac. I'm not a Mac user or Linux user. But so that's the first place that when you turn on your computer or turn on your phone, on your computer, you're taken to the desktop. And then on your phone, you're taken to what we call the home screen. Now, on that home screen, you find those icons. So typically, if you are using like a Google phone or some other devices like Nokia or Motorola and those that are sticking close to the stock Android UI, you're going to find things like Google folder. You're going to find things like the Play Store. You're going to find things like Chrome or things like that. And so the description of the home screen is as follows. So you have at the very bottom what we call the dock. Now the dock would consist of things like I think you'll see like Chrome. You'll see things like phone or contacts. Depends on the manufacturer, and usually depends on the size of the phone or the launcher. But by default, I think the Google Pixel and any other Android One program phones would have like five of those things in the dock. And those are, you know, the kind of apps that come by default that sit on that dock, including, your Google Chrome and Play Store and things like that, or messaging and all of that. Now, so the home screen is like your desktop. Then, whenever you install an app from the Play Store, it gets placed there. Now, you can manage that just like you can manage your desktop on a computer, meaning you could create things like folders, and so you can drop things into one folder. I particularly like to arrange my things in folders. So on my phone, for example, I have a total of, I think, about 15 folders. So I have things like audio, Bible, browsers, uh, you know, cloud storage, communication, and on, education or whatever, things like that, uh, file browsers and things like that. So when I'm looking for something, I know exactly what it is where to find it. For instance, if I'm looking for, I want to create like a document, I know to go to word processing to find either Microsoft Office, Google Keep Notes, or whatever that I have placed in that folder. And so we're going to talk about how do you go about, creating those folders. And then if you don't like your launcher, because sometimes certain phones would come with, um, you know, and by the way, the home screens are powered by what we call a launcher. So think of it like the Windows Explorer on your computer, on your Windows computer. And so your desktop is powered by the Windows Explorer. And so your home screen is powered by the launcher. And so sometimes some of these launchers are not very accessible. In other words, I am not able to, move, say, hey, I want to add this app, into a particular folder, or I want to create a particular folder. And then later on, I want to drop things into it. Some of those launchers are not very accessible. And so if that happens to be the case, then it calls for a third-party launcher. And so I'm going to show the default launcher that comes on the Pixel. And then Ed is going to show us a third party launcher that gives him a different home screen experience other than the one that came natively with his phone.